Before we tell you more about it, answer this one question. When you hear an unexpected knock on your front door at night, do you open it? Fortunately for one Arizona family, their neighbor had the good reflex of doing it. She has probably opened her door because of what she saw through her windows on that cold night. When she checked to see who had come knocking at such a time, Jessica opened her door only to find her 5-year-old neighbor, Salvatori, standing on her step. The young boy was standing outside all on his own, which was odd for him as his parents never leave him unaccompanied. As she was trying to figure out a reason why the kid was on her doorstep at such time, Jessica realized that the boy was carrying something in his arms. He was standing there in silence holding something in his arms. At first, Jessica thought it was just a doll. She told Arizona's ABC 15. But after closer inspection, Jessica found out that the young boy was actually carrying his 2-month-old sister. The boy had put a blanket around the baby and carried her along with him to his neighbor's house. Why on earth were these 2 small children alone, out in the cold in the middle of the night? Jessica asked the boy for an explanation as to what he was doing late outside. As it turns out, the only other person who was home at the Siculisis was Sal's mother, Caitlin, which is the reason why the little kid came knocking at her door. For the young Siculisis family, their night was nothing far from usual, a bit stressful as most nights are with 2 young children, but nothing more. When the young mother had put her little ones in bed and kissed them goodnight, she decided to treat herself a little and relax her tense muscles and worked out mind with a hot bath. Right after she made sure that her children were sound asleep, the young mother went upstairs and began to run the water for a long, hot bath. Only shortly afterward, her son came running after he heard a thump that woke him right up from his sleep. When Sal got to the bathroom to check on his mom, he found her lying unconscious in the bathtub. His next move would have been impressive even for an adult, let alone a 5-year-old child who has no experience dealing with stressful and critical situations. 5-year-old Sal went to get his baby sister, put her in a blanket, and made sure she was safe in the living room. The little boy then ran to the garage where he pulled a stool so that his tiny fingers could reach the remote control to open the door. Sal slipped into a pile of stacked shoes, but he recovered and got back on his feet a few seconds after. Then he climbed the stool again and clicked the remote to open the garage door. He then went back and grabbed his baby sister before leaving through the garage door to the neighbor's house. Sal knocked on Panayur's door and told her what had happened to his mom. The most heartbreaking part of the story is when he said, "My mom died in the shower. Can you take care of us?" Panayur told ABC 15. These words fell like bullets on her, and Jessica instantly called the emergency services, who rushed to the fallen mother's side to rescue her. Waiting for the paramedics to arrive, Jessica went inside the home and found the children's mother lying still in the bathtub with the water still running. Fortunately for the kids, Caitlin was still breathing, and she hadn't tragically passed away as her little boy thought. She had suffered a seizure, the second since giving birth to Sal's little sister. Caitlin had no memory of the night, as her last memory of that frightening night was turning on the shower faucet, and then the next day she woke up in a hospital bed. However, it didn't take her long to hear of her son's extraordinary bravery, one she was very proud of. "Honestly, he saved my life. I was under the faucet. If he wouldn't have gotten help, I would have drowned," she told ABC 15. And of course, the boy didn't just save his mom's life. He was alert enough to care for an infant, too. Caitlin told ABC 5 that her son had brought his baby sister covered in a warm blanket to the neighbors so that his baby sister wouldn't have to experience the trauma of seeing their mother dead. Even though his mother is alive and well, young Sal still has trouble believing that she's fine and that she is going to be around for more years to come. "Every day is a challenge for us. He asks me 1,000,000,000 times if I'm going to be okay," Caitlin said. "He'll tell me, 'Are you going to have another seizure?' 'No, I'm okay.' 'Are you going to die today?' 'No, I'm not going to die today,' the young mother added. Despite his lingering fears and unending questions, there were some absolute perks for the young Sal thanks to his great heroism. When the area's firefighting squad learned about the boy's courageous efforts to save his mom and keep his sister safe, they decided to name him an honorary firefighter. Little Sal received a certificate, a shirt, a helmet, and even a patch. Rural Metro Fire wants to recognize you as an honorary firefighter. You get to join the ranks of all these guys that came to help your mom, said Rural Metro Fire's fire department spokesman, Sean Gilliland. Young Sal happily accepted his award with a big smile. While the young boy's actions showed his God-given bravery, Gilliland took a moment to shed light on the importance of emergency training, especially for kids, to deal with situations like these. Talk to your kids about what to do when something bad happens at home. What do you need to do? How do you dial 911? Where do you go? Children must know the basic things to do in case of an emergency. Not all kids are born with Sal's bravery.